All right, let's talk about something fascinating. What if you could build some serious wealth, but without anyone ever knowing your name? Today, we're diving into a blueprint for earning that completely flips the script. It values quiet strategy way more than the noisy spotlight. Let's get into it. So let's just start with a really bold question. Can you make $10,000 in the next 30 days without anyone noticing? It sounds like something straight out of a spy movie, doesn't it? But this isn't about secret identities. It's about a secret strategy, one that's a whole lot quieter and, maybe even a whole lot smarter. To really get this strategy, we first have to talk about what our source material calls the visibility trap. This is the huge problem with so many of today's side hustles. They demand public attention, whether we actually want to give it or not.
I mean, the reality is, most of us want to improve our financial situation, right? But we don't necessarily want to broadcast every single move to our friends, family, or coworkers. Money is personal, and there's this really powerful desire to just work on our goals without facing judgment or a dozen unwanted opinions.
And this slide just lays out the two paths so perfectly. On the left, you've got your typical public hustle. It's loud, it's demanding, you're constantly performing on social media. But on the right, that's the stealth approach. It's private, quiet, and strategic. See, it's not about being seen. It's about building something of incredible value behind the scenes. So, that brings us to the alternative. The solution, really. The Stealth Wealth Blueprint. This is a framework for generating real income by focusing on high-value work instead of high visibility.
So, what exactly is a stealth wealth strategy? Well, at its core, it's all about finding those overlooked opportunities where your skills can be the star of the show without you having to be. The key isn't building some big personal brand. It's about delivering massive value directly, without all the noise.
And let's be crystal clear about this. This isn't about doing anything illegal or shady. Not at all. It's about being strategic. It's about leveraging the skills you already have in a way that just doesn't come with all that pressure of public performance. It's about working smarter, not louder. Okay, so how do you actually do this? Let's break this whole blueprint down into 3 distinct, under-the-radar paths you can take to get to that $10,000 goal. The entire strategy really rests on 3 main pillars. First up, high-value freelancing. Second, creating anonymous digital products. And third, tackling niche one-off projects. Let's take a look at how each one of these works. Our first path is high-value freelancing. And the key phrase here is high value. Instead of trying to juggle dozens of tiny little gigs, you focus on a specialized skill, like technical copywriting or brand identity design that lets you command a premium price. And why is this a stealth method? Well, with just a few high-paying clients, you can hit your income goal without needing some massive public-facing operation. Path 2 takes a completely different approach. Anonymous digital products. Think of this like building a little money-making machine that just runs for you in the background. You create a valuable asset just one time, maybe an ebook on a super niche topic or a set of design templates, and you sell it under a brand name, not your own. This lets you build a quiet, automated income stream. Now, our third path is for the specialists out there. This is all about leveraging a unique skill for high-paying, one-off projects. Do you have a technical or creative knack? Like maybe you're amazing at 3D modeling, or you can analyze complex data sets. Businesses will pay top dollar for these skills on a project-by-project basis, letting you swoop in, deliver incredible value, and then move on. No public brand required. Now, this all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? To answer that, let's look at a real-world case study that pulls these ideas together just perfectly. So let's call them the mystery copywriter. This is a real person who put that high-value freelancing idea to the ultimate test, choosing to operate completely from the shadows. Their goal was ambitious, but it was clear. Earn $10,000. And they wanted to do it fast, like within a single month, without any of the usual self-promotion. And the result? They hit the target. In just 30 days, they earned 10 grand. So how'd they do it? By ditching the public portfolio and instead reaching out directly to a handful of businesses in industries that really value discretion, like finance and law. A few high-paying projects were all it took. No social media, no self-promotion, just pure high-value skill. A perfect example of path 1. So as we bring all this together, I want you to think of this blueprint as less of a collection of tactics and more like a new mindset. It's a strategic way to approach your financial goals, your own financial secret weapon. This quote from our source material just summarizes the entire philosophy perfectly. The secret
is to move away from high visibility methods and instead focus on creativity, niche skills, and smart freelancing that allows you to achieve financial goals under the radar. It's about achieving your goals quietly and completely on your own terms.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. What could you achieve if you just removed the pressure of an audience? What could you build, create, or earn if no one was watching? The potential might just surprise you for a topic that affects so many of us, getting out of debt for good.
I mean, if you're here, there's a pretty good chance this question hits home. You know that feeling, right? Living paycheck to paycheck, watching your hard-earned money just vanish into interest payments, and always wondering if you're ever going to get ahead. It is completely exhausting.
But here's the most important thing I'm going to say today, and I really want you to let this sink in. Getting out of debt isn't just possible, it's a totally attainable reality. And what we're going to do here is show you exactly how.
But, before we get to the how, we really have to face the why. Why is this so critical? Well, because the true cost of debt, it's not measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in your peace of mind. Yeah, the numbers you see on your statements, that's only half the story. The real burden is the emotional toll it takes on you day in and day out. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's this constant pressure, a weight that follows you everywhere, to work, back home. It's probably what's keeping you up at night. So what does that emotional weight actually feel like? Well, it's feeling trapped. It's being anxious about every single purchase. And sometimes, honestly, it's feeling completely hopeless. That constant stress, it doesn't just stay in your head. It can strain your relationships, it can affect your physical health. It basically holds your entire future captive. Okay, so that's the problem. It's heavy, it's real, but now we're going to pivot. Let's talk about the solution, because there is a clear way out of this. It's time to take back control. One of the most effective strategies out there is called the debt snowball method. And its power isn't in some complicated math, it's pure psychology. See, by paying off your smallest debts first, you score these quick wins, and that feeling creates momentum and builds the confidence you need to go after the bigger debts. So here it is, your escape plan, in 3 clear steps. First, track your spending. For just 1 month, I want you to monitor every single dollar. This isn't about judgment, okay? It's about getting honest data, seeing where your money is really going. Second, start the snowball. List your debts from smallest to largest, and then focus all your extra cash on wiping out that first smallest debt. And third, cut unnecessary expenses. Find places you can trim back. Even small cuts can free up a surprising amount of money to throw at your debt and speed everything up. Now, theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look at a success story that shows you the incredible power of this plan when you put it into action. Okay, meet Sarah. She's a nurse, and she was feeling completely overwhelmed by this number, $50,000 in student loans and credit card debt. She felt like her big dreams of, owning a home or starting a family were just impossible. But Sarah decided to take control. She committed, really committed, to that 3-step plan. She budgeted aggressively and threw every extra dollar she had at her debt using the snowball method. And just look at this progress. In only 2 years, she knocked out over $40,000 of her debt. And this is the whole point. The real win wasn't just the zero balance. It was the feeling. That heavy weight was gone. She was no longer a slave to her payments. She was free to build a life she actually wanted. That right there is the ultimate payoff. Sarah's story is proof that this is possible for you too. It is not a fairy tale. And now, the focus is back where it belongs, on you. Your journey can start right now, today. And please remember this. This journey isn't one with some giant impossible leap. It's one with small, consistent steps taken every single day. Just focus on the next right decision, the next payment, and commit to that process. That's how you build real, unstoppable momentum. So, as we close out, I want to leave you with a question to think about. What is your single biggest challenge when it comes to your debt? Because just identifying that obstacle, that's your very first step toward finally overcoming it. Your freedom is waiting.